Let's dive into 5 ways to live your legacy, evolve your life, so as to grow, give back, and create a meaningful legacy through a younger, older, elder lens. And what's going to happen here is that I'm attempting to encourage you to live the legacy you intend to leave. And these 5 ways are summary points to get you on that path in a way in which you lean into what's important for you. Now, they are not in any particular order. They are ones that I have found to be important through conversations with those that I've interacted with, myself in terms of my own results. So I wanted to share them with you so that you had sort of a foundation of the house or the seedbed of the garden so that you could interact with them and enjoy them. And they are find purpose and direction, enhance personal growth, build stronger connections, contribute to greater good, and create a living yes impact. So I'm going to be taking each one of those and explaining a little bit more. But I think what's going to be important is just give you a bit of an overview of what is the meaning of the word legacy and evolve and this notion of live life. I think that would be helpful as well. But to set that up, what I want to do is just introduce myself because you may not know who I am. And it's from this place. I live the legacy I intend to leave. It's something that happens with me, for me, because of me, from me every day. And I have 3 YouTube channels that I interact with, and they are Younger, Older, Elder, which is probably where you're finding this video. There's Awareness from Forests. The short form is Awareness, and it's about trees and forests. And then there's Mentor Practices, which is about mentorship, mentoring, and serving as a mentor with the mentee. And I've had quite an interesting life myself, and now I'm at a point where I'm in my early 70s and really thinking through what it means to live the legacy I intend to leave. And I've come to a point where I'm using these YouTube channels to bring forth ways in which to invite youngers, olders, elders, in particular the olders who may be solo aging or grand aging, grandparents, and being able to give them tools and techniques to leverage legacy in their life with those that they care to interact with. Now, I've had a great life. I have lived and worked on 6 or 7 continents, done a lot of different kinds of things. I've written books. I have served in a university, college setting, done lots of really interesting work in Africa and Australia. So I cannot complain about the experiences that I have and learning about the educating approaches that are available and to gather this evidence that I'm using to share with you. Now, what's important here is the stability of what I call content creation. How can I help you as a younger, older elder, in particular, older, to bring your evidence, your educating approaches, your experiences together through a content creation lens so that you can find that pathway for you where you can gift back so others can learn from you. So, with that, I think it will be important to just sort of give you a sense of what is legacy and where that can take you. Also, to really look at this word evolve, because I think it's a really special word. and then to look at live life before going into the 5 ways to to evolve the way forward of legacy and live life, live a hale and hearty life. Legacy is about the useful what's, time, effort, and money that you gift others so they can learn something from your experiences. The useful what's, time, effort, and money, well, on the surface are fairly obvious. Sometimes you have to step back into them to go, all right, how am I using my time? And what's the effort that I'm associating with that time? Where is it directed? What meaning is attached to it? And then there's the question of money, whether it's I'm expending money or I'm making money because of the legacy. And what this does is it prompts you to think about, well, these are my gifts, my time, effort, and money are my gifts. Then that means I have to remember, hang on a minute, if I give something like a present comes from my head, legacy is a gift that comes from my heart. And it's done in such a way is that whoever I'm interacting with, they can learn something from my experiences. So my experiences of time, effort, and money, whether it's from my history or it's what I'm intending to do or it's what I'm doing in the moment that people are interacting with me. So that's a sense of legacy. The word evolve is one of my more favorite words. So when I lean into it, tap into it, touch it, leverage it, it has great meaning for me. And if you take the first 4 letters and flip them around, you end up with the word love. If you take the middle 2 letters and flip them around and add the last 2 letters, you get the word love. Because you flip those middle 2 letters around, you form a word phrasing called lo and behold. It's a way of reminding you of where you are, what you're doing. So you have this idea of love and lo and behold. So let's bring it together as a story. So love your history, love your mystery. Lo and behold, you find your presence. And when you love your history through gathering the evidence and what is it that you're learning about, so that you can love your mystery, which is going to be the experiences that you're going to create, then lo and behold, you can find your presence through how am I going to share what it is that I do each day? What's my educating approach? When you listen, you learn. Where you share, you educate. To live life, there's a consideration of your standard of living and your quality of life. Now, the standard of living is what are you welcoming in? What do you determine that you want to welcome into your life, into living your life? You have the ability to control that rather than just taking what's given to you. So there's some standards that you're going to set of this is what I agree to, this is what I will accept. And if you have to, you may have to say, look, I'm not going to take that because of these reasons. Or you might say, give me a few hours to think about it before I accept it or agree to it. The notion of the quality of life is really about figuring out what has the meaning for you, what brings optimism, what brings resilience to you. What is it that you can lean into to live this hale and hearty life? There are qualities of who you are, courage, commitment, and those that you're interacting with. We call those ethics of caring and respect and honesty. It's finding this balance of live life, the standard of living, this quality of life. And we're going to dive into that more through these 5 ways that are the cornerstone of this video. These 5 ways to live your legacy, evolve your life. It's important to find purpose and direction because once you know it, the decisions, actions, and outcomes align to make life unfold in a way that makes sense for you and those that you interact with. So, a question that's important here is what do you want to align with and be remembered for? When I sat down in my 60s and said, where am I going with my legacy? I've been playing around with it, but where do I want to take it? And that's when this content creation storyline to support elders in their own creation of legacy stories and projects came to the forefront. And I said, well, I want to align with that because that helps me to figure out what my legacy is, and I can be of great assistance to those who are looking to do something that's similar. And then what that brought forward was, well, what would be a project that I could share to illustrate what this is all about? And that's where Awareness came forward, the Awareness from Forest, the YouTube channel I mentioned earlier. So I'm living it as I'm sharing it so that we can find the the results that I have, you have, and also to be able to research more about how to assist one another to get there. And therefore, by reporting that through this content creation approach, then we're leaning into helping each other, and that is a great way to live your legacy and to evolve your life. As I stepped into my legacy, I realized that personal growth, to enhance personal growth, was going to be at the forefront of my activities because there's lots to still learn in my next 50 as an older, and the possibility of becoming an elder once community that I interact with may designate me as an elder. But what I also found was in a lot of conversations I've been having is that people are wondering how to continue to grow in themselves as they move through this older elder storyline as they're involved with their aging. And for some, solo aging, others grand aging, partner aging. There's different variations of this aging confidently that they want to lean into and to learn from. And I said, okay, then here's a question for you. What can you improve, focus, and strengthen today, tomorrow, that will enhance this personal growth, that will allow you to leverage your legacy, to live this legacy life that you're looking at? Because as you grow, you become better equipped to make a lasting impact as you adventure together. Because as you grow and you interact with others who are growing, that's why I've reached out to you through this video and other videos to encourage our interactions, then you're able to go, all right, this is my impact. This is where I can be of greatest assistance. Now, I know this to be true because I was sharing some time and conversations with a couple, and they wanted to work on a project that they could both work on together that would contribute something significantly for the world. And I said, do you know what that is? And that's what got us into conversations. And one day I turned to them and I said, what's a really important word in your vocabulary? And they said, kindness. And I went, is that the word that we want to use to have a deeper, richer conversation about legacy for you? And that sparked this really wonderful conversation that resulted in them creating a kindness project for corporations. And from there, they've gone on to hold summits and do some consulting work. And it actually reminded me of the importance of the word kinder, which you'll see in the next section of what it means to live your legacy, evolve your life. With this realization, you're on a unique journey and you adventure together. That implies that it's important to build stronger connections. And therefore, what impact do you want to make that is better, wiser, and kinder because of your legacy evolvement? Because with that, you start to appreciate that you will make time to connect with persons already present and to invite those you want to evolve with. There was another couple I was interacting with, and they had this wonderful piece of jewelry connected to forests. And they wanted to figure out some different messaging that could go with it. And the jewelry was a reminder of intention. And I said, well, I think you've got the core aspect of it is that from an awareness point of view, attention gives intention and intention gives attention. Could you use that in such a way as to develop more insights that would invite those that you're interacting with to live better, wiser, and kinder? Because the jewelry held words inside it that a person could keep close to their heart to express what it meant for them to be for the world, with the planet, and from the whole. And therefore, they are establishing community of persons who are like minded, wholehearted in intention to make it better, wiser, and kinder. So in their unfolding of a story of legacy and what it means to live your legacy, to evolve your life, they have got a rich business that's now available. Of these two stories I've shared already around kindness and intention, what it does is it reminds us that we are contributing to a greater good, to the commons, to the community. And therefore, I would ask you as what evolves because of your caring and sharing through the way in which you bring legacy forward and that you evolve your life. Because as you share your expertise, support a cause, you create a ripple effect that extends way beyond. Like, for example, if you were to take up mentoring as legacy or legacy with mentoring, mentoring is a really good example of what it means to assist one another, the mentor and the mentee. But there's a ripple effect that takes place because of that mentoring that a lot of people benefit from. And sometimes those who mentor or are the mentee forget about that ripple effect. And therefore, I remind them when I'm doing my mentoring and support of those wanting to look at live your legacy, evolve your life, is what is it that evolves because of your caring and sharing and being with one another as a contribution to the greater good? Through all the conversations that I've indicated and what I would share with you is at some point in time, I'm going to ask this question, if not multiple times. What are the benefits of living the legacy you leave? And that's an important question because what you're doing is you want to create a living yes impact. In other words, that of the legacy that I will leave for those who haven't arrived yet and who can benefit by learning from my experiences, my allocation of time, effort, and money, then living my legacy now is really important because as you live the legacy you intend to leave, you craft something for those yet to arrive. I'm illustrating, highlighting that point because we forget about this sense of hospitality. And if and when your legacy unfolds, you are supporting through a hospitable way something that's of value, a truth, a worth, something of utility that others can pick up on and they can weave them into their lives. And that is a wonderful way to be able to say to yourself, I can benefit from that. They're benefiting from that. If I remember there is the ripple effect that takes place, then even more people benefit from that. Then there is something to be said that if I'm living my hale and hearty life and I evolve that through this legacy project stories and contributions, then that is something that I can celebrate, I can appreciate, and that I can continue to live each and every day. And I wish that for you as you evolve your life. But you may bring to our connection because of these 5 ways, and you've selected one that's really of great importance to you. Then what can happen is you can say, I would really like to create a legacy project to deal with the social cultural movement of homelessness in my area. Great. If you would like to figure out how to create the content to support that, even the business structure, I can help get that first draft put together of what that means and support you as you move into, now I'm going to implement it. What does that mean? So I use the 5 Ds to dream it, to design it, move into develop it, so you can deliver it and you can determine if it's working, and it comes back to connecting with your dream. So those are ways in which I can assist you. Now, again, you may decide, I've got a really great legacy project. I want to do some mentoring of youth in terms of their involvement with the sciences because of my background. And I may not want to fully go into the STEM way of doing it. I have my own thoughts around it, and I want to create a course that I can make available to youngers. Let's have a conversation about that as well. So there's many ways in which to bring your contributions, your stories, your projects, your legacy projects forward. And I would be so grateful and interested in supporting you and seeing what that looks like. So wealthmovement.com is the website. The YouTube is younger, older, elder. And for those who want to figure out your legacy and want my support, please reach out as well. Sometimes it's not always clear, and you could use a bit of mentoring support, mapping support. I'd be happy to do that as a way to contribute to your content creation of your legacy project stories. So, with that, I would ask you to again leave comments below. It's a great way for me to learn. And if I can be of any assistance, you can drop me a message below, or you can go over to wealthmovement.com/contact, leave a message there as well. So, with that, I wish you well on your unique journey as you adventure together. And as you um, live your legacy and evolve your life. It's a great way to be, have, and do in your next 50. as an older elder. So, with that, take care.